Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Season 19 of Sister Wives, things are already becoming intense as Tell All approaches its third installment. Kody Brown was really concerned about the criticism he's receiving for liking Robyn in the one-on-one interviews. Sukanya Krishnan, the host of Tell All, even went so far as to criticize Kody for failing to accept responsibility for his unjust degree of relationship with Robyn. However, it appears that Kody is not finished with his shocking charges, since in the most recent teaser for Tell All Part 3 on TLC, he now specifically attacks Janelle. To view the footage, continue reading. Janelle Brown, a sister wife, expresses her frustration with Kody. Janelle made startling claims regarding Robyn and Kody in the second round of the Tell All. According to the Sister Wives star, Robyn is not solely to blame for the family's demise. However, she clarified that this did not absolve Robyn. According to Janelle, it takes two. She went on to say that Kody has turned himself into a villain in order to shoulder all the responsibility rather than Robyn. Janelle claims that since Robyn started being blamed, she has not witnessed Kody behave in such a manner. However, Janelle said in the teaser that Kody had attacked every one of his spouses who left the place that caused them the most pain. Christine also claimed that sex was never a problem in one episode before closing her eyes in shock that Kody was now bringing up such subjects. David Woolley added that he can provide Christine with what she has always required. Mary Brown calls out Christine in Sister Wives. Mary Brown's agitation over David Woolley's presence at the Tell All with Christine was also depicted in the most recent preview. The Sister Wives star asked why Christine was discussing her ex with her spouse. A lot of admirers comment on Mary's remarks as well. Mary has a point, some remarked, while others think David isn't maliciously involved in the Tell All. When David has heard enough about Kody, he seems to be the kind of man who will politely inform his wife. Mary, where is your man? Thinking face with rolling eyes, woman shrugging, waving hand, victory. And I understand Mary's point. However, I suppose Christine is compensated for it. That's the reason she constantly bringing up Kody. Because she is on a television program that compensates her for discussing her ex with her husband, she is discussing her ex with him. Otherwise, I guarantee she wouldn't think twice about him. The Sister Wives star was candid about her relationship with her ex-boyfriend Kody Brown, even asking if his actions were a sign of narcissism. She admitted to Sukanya Krishnan in the third segment of the four-part reveal on June 8th of the TLC series, "I do believe that there was a cycle of love bombing. Then it was almost like a wind down." Janelle responded, "For a narcissist, there's a cycle where you love bomb and then there's sort of a waning and then you almost kind of destroy or hurt them." When Sukanya asked what the specific love bombing might have looked like, "Then you return and you love bomb to mend it. Thus, there was a sort of cycle." Sukanya responded by saying, "You used the word narcissist. Do you mean that Kody is a narcissist? I am not qualified to diagnose him, but I guess everybody will have to decide," Janelle said, hesitating in her response. Noting that she is neither a doctor nor a psychologist, the 56-year-old went on, "I read pop culture. I don't know. However, it appears that there are a lot of parallels." The American Psychiatry Association estimates that 1 to 2% of people suffer from narcissistic personality disorder, which is characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, sense of superiority in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration, and lack of empathy. Janelle has previously viewed her time with Kody, the spouse she had with Mary Brown, Christine Brown, and Robyn Brown, negatively. Since Robyn is Kody's only surviving wife and 3 of those 4 marriages are failing, Janelle claimed that Kody is to blame for the failure. She clarified on the June 1st TLC series that, at least in our faith, when you marry into plural marriage, you are expected to become more than you are. She went on to say, he was supposed to make those relationships, all of them, work. Although Janelle acknowledged that marriages did not have to be equal, because nothing's ever fair or equal, she emphasized that the patriarch was required to meet the needs of all the different relationships, right? Whatever that looked like. Janelle, who has 6 children with Kody, said that Kody started to avoid some of those duties during the pandemic. "I believe he truly said, I'm just going to shrug this off, especially during COVID. You two are not fond of one another. I'm worn out. If I continue doing this, you're going to reduce my lifespan. Janelle thought. He says, I just don't want to do it anymore, suddenly. He kind of threw this little temper tantrum, she said. On Sister Wives, Kody Brown commented, she looked like a soccer mom, referring to his 2009 encounter with Robyn, a single mother at the time. She was divorced, had 3 children, and a vehicle. I reasoned that having 3 children, a divorced woman, and a van was just problems. However, after almost 10.5 years, the couple is still going strong, as they have added a boy, Solomon, and a daughter, Ariella, to their family. Adding more teammates is not part of the strategy. That feels like, oh, well, and I really struggle with that. Those failed. On the December Sister Wives, one-on-one special featuring Mary Brown, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown departing the show, Robyn stated, so, on to someone new. I find that difficult. I find that quite difficult. It seems insulting. Mary disclosed on Instagram in January 2024, a year after she and Kody made their split public, that she had started seeing Amos Andrews the previous October. However, Mary announced their separation on Instagram in February 2024. She won the family and the man. On Valentine's Day 2023, Christine announced that she and David Woolley were officially dating, saying, I finally found the love of my life, David. My spirit seemed to breathe for the first time when he held me close. He is an amazing grandpa who is nice and excellent with my kids. I never thought I would discover such a love. He expanded the fantasy with a spring proposal 2 months later. Christine told People, David tells me I'm beautiful every day and treats me like a queen. I've never been in love like this before, and the world seems like a brighter place with him in it. Janelle's oldest daughter married Caleb Brush at a 2016 outdoor wedding in Montana that was caught on video by TLC. She was the first of the 18 Brown children to walk down the aisle. The two have become closer after almost a decade, and in March 2025, Amelia joined her older siblings Axel, Evie, and Josephine. Maddie, who lives in North Carolina, posted on Instagram, Our sweet girl took her time, keeping us all in suspense, but when she decided it was time, she didn't waste a second. She was born on March 14th, and she was flawless. Mary's lone kid moved to Denver with Audrey Chris 4 years after their engagement was shown on the TLC reality show. My sweetest symphony, Leon extolled about their 2020 partner. Life with you truly is so sweet, said Audrey. Being your partner and watching your growth and coming into yourself over the years has been an honor and joy. In 2022, Logan, the oldest Brown child, reunited with his longtime girlfriend Michelle Petty in Arizona. It was a beautiful day, and this mama's heart was mush the whole time. Janelle wrote about her son's wedding on Instagram. You always have such a sense of peace when your children find amazing life partners. Michael T. quipped that she and Antonio, Tony Padron, had already put their marriage vows to the test when they welcomed twins Archer and Ace into the world in November 2022, more than 6 years after their 2016 wedding. At the time, Michael T., who is also Avalon's mother, posted on Instagram, We have 3 kids and 4 moves under our belt. Many happy moments and a few difficult ones. #surprise twins. However, we're still going through the entire marriage process. Mitch Thompson and Christine's oldest daughter have taken trips from Alaska to Paris after their 2018 wedding. However, they established roots in December 2022, as Mitch said on Instagram. We purchased our first house right before Christmas. In April 2025, Aspen revealed she was expecting their first child. Beatrice Queiroz, Christine's 3rd oldest daughter and her lover, celebrated their 6 months together with chocolate fondue at the happiest place on earth before to their 1-year anniversary. Then came the truly romantic part. In November 2022, Gwendolyn posted a picture of the candlelit, rose-filled proposal on Instagram with the caption, I'm engaged. Sister Wives actor Peyton Brown hasn't been active on social media lately. Fans can only see him in a small number of his family's posts. However, Paydon puts a lot of effort into making customized films for his clients at Cameo. He also gives updates on his life there. When Paydon revealed that he was getting married to his dream girl, nevertheless, many were shocked. Continue reading to see the video. Sister Wives, the unnerving look of Paydon Brown. During his cameos, Paydon often makes humorous comments about his family. However, the Sister Wives star made headlines last May when she made a special Mother's Day movie for a client. He greeted all the mothers, but he would not address at least one of them. Paydon's questionable remakes led many to believe he was referring to Robyn. He clarified that he was just trying to make others smile. "No, I am not excluding anybody specific, I just thought it was funny," he said. But there's little question that many will choose to escape with everything they want. Paydon's union with his dream spouse. The cameo video was recently shared on Instagram by reality TV fan blogger at John Yates 327 TV, who received it from a friend. Paydon can be seen in the video offering motivational remarks to his client. Soon after, the Sister Wives star shared some personal details. One of them is meeting the woman of his dreams. Although Paydon says he didn't find what he was looking for, she assisted him in realizing that he had found what he wanted. Paydon further disclosed that he takes the woman seriously and plans to wed her shortly. Many of Paydon's fans are pleased that he and his girlfriend are now living together, despite the fact that he didn't provide any other details about his partner. "I'm glad he's satisfied. Although I don't say that about many of the other members of our family, he is a good man who deserves the best. I'm really happy for Paydon. He has the heart of his mother. He talks like Kody, but he has Christine's manners faced with tears of joy. I'm very happy for him. I will never forget the day he appeared on the panel with John Yates. It had been an amazing 3 hours. The last time Paydon Brown appeared on Sister Wives. One of Paydon Brown's last appearances in season 19 was during Garrison's burial in Wyoming. The Sister Wives star made the family laugh with his jokes as he sent his brother his final texts and condolences. Paydon even gave his Garrison military tags as a token of appreciation, promising to always wear them. Paydon's maturity affected a lot of people. Unfortunately, given that they are now arguing back and forth in the tell-all, it seems like his parents are still at disagreement. Janelle Brown had stood by Kody through every storm, every fight, every awkward Coyote Pass planning meeting, every tear shed over Christine, Mary, and Robyn's drama, every shifting promise, and every moment when the dream of plural family harmony felt more like a cruel punchline than an actual life, and yet she stayed. Not because she was weak, not because she was dependent, but because she believed in building something bigger than herself, something sacred, something that could survive the chaos of ego and jealousy and land ownership, and despite her calm nature and rational mind, Janelle had her limits, and this time, after years of swallowing pride and stepping aside to keep the peace, Kody finally crossed a line that shattered everything she thought she knew about the man she once called her spiritual husband, because when a man hits below the belt, not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and publicly, the damage leaves bruises that no camera crew or staged. Confessional can soften, and Kody Brown, in a moment of ego and bitter resentment, weaponized his words like daggers and aimed them squarely at Janelle's deepest wounds, exposing not just the fractures in their family, but the deeply embedded misogyny, control, and favoritism that had been festering under the surface for years, and it happened not in a dramatic group meeting or one of the now famous fire pit showdowns, but in a supposedly private conversation that the producers later played back. On screen, where Kody, red-faced, defensive, and spiraling over his crumbling family empire, told Janelle with a sneer, "You were never really committed to me. You were just here because it was easy," and the words hit like a freight train, not just because of their cruelty, but because they stripped away every sacrifice Janelle had made, every financial burden she carried while Kody played musical houses with Robyn, every trailer night she spent alone, every land conversation she tried to have while he stared blankly into space. And it wasn't just about what he said, it was what he meant, that her value, her role, her decades in this plural family experiment were now being erased with a single venomous accusation from the man who once swore eternal spiritual commitment to her. For years, Fans had watched Janelle be the unshakable force of reason in the Brown family, the business-minded wife, the independent thinker, the mom who didn't get caught up in the melodrama, the woman who lived in an RV on Coyote Pass without complaint while Robyn had 2 nannies and a massive house. And through it all, she didn't raise her voice, didn't drag Kody on camera the way he deserved, didn't even let the growing favoritism get to her until now, until this moment when Kody's words proved what she probably feared deep down for years, that he never saw her as his equal, never respected the sacrifices she made, never acknowledged the way she carried the family's finances on her back while he threw money at Robyn's whims, and never once gave her credit for her loyalty, strength, and ability to hold it all together when everyone else fell apart, and hearing him accuse her of being just there for convenience was more than offensive. It was soul-crushing because Janelle was never the convenient one. She was the sacrificial one, the one who gave Kody room to build his empire while she worked full-time, who raised kids in quiet dignity while Christine and Mary battled for attention, who accepted less affection, less support, less everything, just to keep the peace. And what made it worse, what made it truly unforgivable, was that Kody knew her value, or at least he used to, back when the family was struggling financially and Janelle was the only wife bringing in steady income, back when she managed family budgets, back when she saved them from bankruptcy more than once. And now, with her gone, with Christine gone, with Mary emotionally disconnected, with Robyn weeping behind her fortress of privilege, and Kody increasingly isolated, he lashes out not because Janelle deserves it, but because he can't control her anymore, and that infuriates him, because Janelle doesn't chase him, doesn't beg for his time, doesn't perform tears for the cameras. She simply tells the truth, and Kody can't handle a woman who sees through him, who doesn't idolize him, who treats him like a flawed human and not a prophetic patriarch, and so he retaliates in the cruelest way, by trying to destroy her legacy within the family, by publicly declaring her commitment wasn't real, that she was never in it for love, which is a staggering accusation given the fact that she stayed in a loveless, affection-starved marriage for nearly 30 years, not because it was easy but because it was hard, and she believed in the vision, in the mission, in the children they raised, and the life they were supposed to be building together. The internet exploded. Fans rushed to Janelle's defense. Hashtags trended. Reddit forums lit up. People were furious, not just with Kody, but with the entire system that had allowed him to get away with emotional neglect and spiritual manipulation for so long. And Janelle? Janelle stood tall, not with rage or revenge, but with quiet strength, posting a cryptic Instagram story, just a sunset over North Carolina hills and the caption, "Peace doesn't beg to be understood." And it said everything. She wasn't coming back. She wasn't apologizing. She wasn't going to try to prove her worth to a man who never saw it to begin with. Kody, meanwhile, tried to backpedal in later confessionals, claiming his words were taken out of context, that he was hurting and angry, but the damage was done, and the world had heard him loud and clear. He didn't value Janelle. He never did. And now, stripped of all his wives except the one he clearly favored, Kody was left with a fractured family, a destroyed reputation, and a growing sense that maybe the legacy he was trying to protect had already slipped through his fingers. And Janelle? She was free. Finally, undeniably free. Janelle Brown, a sister wife, expresses her frustration with Kody. Janelle made startling claims regarding Robyn and Kody in the second round of the tell-all. According to the Sister Wives star, Robyn is not solely to blame for the family's demise. However, she clarified that this did not absolve Robyn. According to Janelle, it takes two. She went on to say that Kody has turned himself into a villain in order to shoulder all the responsibility rather than Robyn. Janelle claims that since Robyn started being blamed, she has not witnessed Kody behave in such a manner. However, Janelle said in the teaser that Kody had attacked every one of his spouses who left the place that caused them the most pain. Christine also claimed that sex was never a problem in one episode before closing her eyes in shock that Kody was now bringing up such subjects. David Woolley added that he can provide Christine with what she has always required. Mary Brown calls out Christine in Sister Wives. Mary Brown's agitation over David Woolley's presence at the tell-all with Christine was also depicted in the most recent preview. The Sister Wives star asked why Christine was discussing her ex with her spouse. A lot of admirers comment on Mary's remarks as well. Mary has a point, some remarked, while others think David isn't maliciously involved in the tell-all. When David has heard enough about Kody, he seems to be the kind of man who will politely inform his wife. Mary, where is your man? Thinking face with rolling eyes, woman shrugging, waving hand, victory. And I understand Mary's point. However, I suppose Christine is compensated for it. That's the reason she constantly bringing up Kody.